Yo, what's up, guys? We are back again with another podcast today. You guys enjoyed the last one and showed some good support. So we're back here with Sean. Sean, say what's up.
Hello.
So yeah, he's here with me again. We're going to be
back.
talking about the NFL Combine that happened last weekend.
Yes,
So
sir.
Sean, kick us off, man.
All right. Obviously, a lot has changed from the pre-combine to now. We've seen a lot of different players either improve or completely digress. First, we're going to talk about, I guess, our favorite players from the combine. Who performed really well, who exceed expectations, and then we'll move on to the losers of the combine, and then we can kind of talk about, I guess, the draft and mocking and stuff like that,
and free agency coming up.
Free agency, trades, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about today. So, my favorite player from the combine. It's tough. I want to say DK Metcalf because his size and the speed and the bench press really, really impressed me. My problem with him really is his hands. His drop catch ratio was pretty high over the past couple seasons, which does worry me a bit. He doesn't have the best hands in the draft class, but
he's
to be that athletic and to have that size is it's unheard of. I've never seen a prospect like this in probably ever. But I also do think that could get him overdrafted. He did have a really good combine. My favorite, though, player, it's a weird one. It is an offensive lineman, actually. And that's Garrett Bradbury out of NC State. He really impressed me. I mean, he ran a 4.9 with the 40. He benched 34 reps. Really, really talented. Did well in the agility drills as well. He definitely bumped his stock up. He could probably, I would argue that he'll be the first interior offensive lineman to be taken in the draft. Might be the third offensive lineman taken behind Juwan Taylor and Jonathan Williams. But yeah, he did absolutely exceptional. Best offensive lineman of the combine and my favorite overall player in the combine. He'll probably go, I would argue he'll go top 20 for sure. He definitely jumped his stock. And then on the defensive side, I want to talk about Bosa and Josh Allen. Both did, I guess, what they were projected to do. Yeah, I mean, they didn't do anything
amazing.
Outside. Yeah, I really wasn't impressed. I don't want to say I wasn't impressed, but I did kind of expect, at least Josh Allen to blow me away. Yeah. And they did well, but they didn't do exceptionally well. But they also didn't do anything to hurt their stock. They're still going to be top 5 players. Yeah. So none of that hurt. Quinnen Williams also did phenomenal at defensive tackle. I think he made a case to go number 1, but we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah.
Defense-wise, really good. The safeties and the corners did really well. Defensive backs in general. Greedy Williams, I think, ran a 4.39 or 4.37, which he was expected to run a really good 40, but to finally see it officially, I do think solidifies him as the number 1 corner in the draft. There was a lot of discussion about that. Was it DeAndre Baker? Was it Byron Murphy? Who was the best corner draft? I think Greedy Williams finally solidified his spot at number 1. And then you got the safeties, which I was really impressed with. I was really impressed with Jonathan Abram, who's a hard-hitting safety at Mississippi State. He's really great. He ran a really good 40, good workouts. I want to say, let me think. The kid from Boston College, Will Harris, did pretty well. He ran a really good 40. I liked him beforehand, and to see him do really well at the combine was really cool. I think Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from Florida did really well. He impressed a lot of scouts. He could even go late first. It would be weird, but it could happen. And that really leads me to talk about how weird this draft really is. I want to talk about that because I watched the combine, and now looking at mock drafts everywhere, it's almost official that Kyler Murray is going to go number 1.
Which I think is absolutely crazy to think about, because, first of all, he didn't do any drills in the combine whatsoever. Mm-hmm. He even did some interviews, though. But even some teams didn't like what he was talking about. His attitude, which I can see why, in a way. He's supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks in this draft class. Top 2.
Yeah,
obviously.
Sure.
And, I mean, the whole situation with him choosing football now over baseball, it's a big concern thinking about it. But him not throwing or doing any drills, I think, kind of might have hurt him in a way, though, too, in a way. Mm. Just because, but if the Cardinals draft him, obviously that the trade who they thought was their future, Josh Rosen.
Right.
Which I don't know. But I also do want to talk about another quarterback. Dwayne Haskins had his combine. He did not run his 40 that good, and people were kind of upset about that.
Well, also, he isn't a scrambler. You know, he's not going to do that.
Stephen A. Smith said?
Yeah. Oh God, he's a moron. I wasn't overly impressed with his combine, but I think like Allen Bosa, Haskins didn't really do anything to drop his stock. I don't think. I think the Kyler Murray situation is really interesting to me. I think David Casserly, he's an NFL analyst, used to be GM. He said that, according to many teams, that Kyler Murray was honestly awful during the combine. They just thought his interviews were really poor. A lot of teams just don't have a lot of faith in him. So if he drops out of the number 1 spot, he doesn't go to the Cardinals, he could dip really far, which is really weird. I've never seen that happen with a player, ever, where he could either be the number 1 pick or he could be, like 15 or 20.
Time out. Remember how Johnny Football?
Yeah.
Well, I know a different situation, but still
right.
similar. He was supposed to go top 5, top 10.
That's a good point.
He dropped to the Browns at 27 or whatever it was.
Yeah, that actually, okay, that makes sense. I could buy that. I don't know, Kyler Murray, it's just such a weird situation. Now it seems, a couple weeks ago, Cardinals said, yeah, Rosen's our guy. This is our guy of the future.
Psych.
Yeah, and then now there's rumors going around saying that no, Murray is their guy. Cliff Kingsbury apparently during the combine was saying to people, "Oh yeah, we're going with Murray number 1." Now that could be to kind of finesse other teams into trading up with them. Maybe they actually don't really like Murray. I don't know. Josh Rosen's deleting all of his Cardinals pictures off his Instagram and then saying he's hacked. We all know that. If somebody says their Instagram is hacked, but none of their other information is stolen, then it wasn't a hack. I mean, let's just be fair here. Himself. And he is a hothead, so I could totally see him deleting his pictures and then being, oh yeah, I could see Rosen getting traded.
My Giants.
There's a lot of potential suitors for Rosen. The one that I really like is to the Patriots. I think they could trade 32. I think the Patriots would be okay with that. They get a quarterback for the future.
Jacksonville could too.
I could see Jacksonville, but again, if it comes to trade value, the Cardinals are going to want the best. And I think the best that they could possibly get is 32. I think other teams will offer a second. No team's going to offer a first. No. I doubt the Raiders would offer. I know Raiders are now kind of, they might trade up for Murray. I heard that Gruden's fell in love with Murray during the combine, whatever. He might end up trading up. I could see that, but I can't see the Raiders really going for anyone else at quarterback. I couldn't see them going for Haskins at 4. I really can't see that. But I don't know. Raiders are a really interesting situation too, because they have 4, 24, and 27 in this draft. They could either trade up, or honestly, it's weird, but I could see the Raiders somehow trading down from 4 if they really if they have a sleeper pick that they really like. And they say, okay, we can trade with, the Packers, for instance. They have 12 and 30. Let's say Josh Allen falls to 4, right? Packers really need help with edge rushers, and they really need help with linebackers in general. And they got a new coach as well. Right, they're losing Clay Matthews. They get Josh Allen, their defense completely transforms. And Packers might be willing to give up 12 and 30. So that would mean the Raiders have 12, 24, 27, and 30. They can rebuild their team just like that. And I think it's a weird trade. It's out there, but I think that would be best for the Raiders to get more assets than just getting... I would rather have 12 and 30. I'd rather have 2 great players than one potentially superstar player. Because, look, it's really tough. And, for me personally, Quinnen Williams is my favorite player in the draft. He's the sure thing. He's a surefire stud. And Bosa, too, is phenomenal. I think he's obviously going to be a top 2 pick. I can't see him going lower. Maybe 3 of the Jets.
If they're lucky.
If they're lucky, right. Because who knows what the 49ers are going to do. And actually, I want to lead into that because I'm now hearing stuff okay, so if the Cardinals go number 1 with Kyler, that a team like the Giants or Jags are going to trade up to 2 or 3 and get Dwayne Haskins because they want to make sure that they get him.
Yeah. I see that happening.
Which would be amazing for the Jets Raiders, and the Bucks, because that means that those three
easier.
will have Nick Bosa, Quentin Williams, and Josh Allen available.
True.
Which I think would be ridiculous. I think if the Raiders... Here's my thing. That's why I'm also against the Raiders kind of trading for... I mean, it's a tough one. But if one of those three players is available at 4, it's too... Like, at that point, I do think that they'll have to consider, like, saying, okay, you know what? We lost Khalil Mack. Josh Allen is being compared to him. It's kind of it's kind of a sure thing in that sense, but I don't know. Again, I don't know what Gruden wants. Gruden is a weird dude. I mean, the fact that there's rumors going around that he loves Kyler Murray is kind of worrying to me because their defense is lacking so much. And I get Derek Carr had a rough year, and I don't know if he's ever going to be the same. I get that, but I would at least give it another year, especially because next year's quarterback class is much, much better.
Tua, Jake Fromm.
Exactly. Justin Herbert. I mean,
Yeah.
the list goes on, and I really think that they should hold out for a quarterback, unless at, 24 or 27, if they keep their picks, and, Drew Lock's there, maybe you take a chance. Because if he dips that far, which I don't think he will, there's too many teams in the mid-tier, like the Bengals, Dolphins, and Redskins that need quarterbacks that they'll probably end up taking.
I do want to talk about something real quick about the Raiders, though. Mm-hmm. So, whole Antonio Brown thing.
Right.
He's rumored to go to the Raiders. But, what happens if they get more picks? It'll be easier to get him. Thinking about it.
Right. Antonio Brown is really... That's a really weird situation because at first they said, oh, yeah, he's valued at a third-round pick.
But
which
now...
is weird because he's the best receiver. Then he goes on, some TV, or some interview on TV, and he says, oh, yeah, I don't need the game and all this shit. So his stock is going to tumble down. He's not going to be... The Steelers are not going to be able to get that much value out of him. So, in that case, that's why I'm shocked. I get the whole diva thing.
I'm pissed, though, about what you said, though.
Well, right. I think...
You're playing this game for a reason. You are a 6th-round pick.
Right.
I understand that. And you worked your ass off to get where you are.
Right.
But you don't have to be a diva. I feel like all wide receivers, though. Big wide receivers are divas.
Right,
Thinking about it?
No, I do think it's hard to have a humble, receiver of that caliber.
His ego's way over his head.
Well, yeah, and that's why teams are kind of hesitant to trade for him. But it still stands that he's arguably the best receiver in football. And I know he might be locker room cancer. I get that. But if a team can get him for a third-round pick, they shouldn't hesitate. I think every team should be at that. For a third-round pick, and I get third-round picks are still valuable, but to get the best receiver in football,
I think it's there.
No worries there. But you have to have a good quarterback there. That's why I think Antonio Brown's best fits are... It's tough, but I could see Tennessee. But again, Mariota. I mean, is he going to get the ball that much? Not to mention they just drafted Corey Davis a year or two back. They have Taylor Taylor, who's not too bad. Yeah, Tajay Sharp. I mean, I think Tennessee do need receivers, but I think they can go into day 2, day 3 and get some receivers. But I don't know. Antonio Brown, I like him with the 49ers. I like him with Seattle, believe it or not. I think a guy like Russell Wilson that can create plays on the fly. Antonio Brown loves that. He loved that in Pittsburgh, and I think that's a great fit for him. But 49ers, they need a receiver. They got Jimmy G, a young quarterback. It'll help him develop. Also, Jets, they have Robbie Anderson.
I heard he's out of the question for the Jets, that was recently.
Really?
This morning. Heard the Jets were out of the situation, and I'm pretty sure the 49ers.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because... I don't know. I mean, there are teams that really desperately need receivers. Even let me think. I mean, even the Bengals, which is a weird one, but they if the Bengals stick with Andy Dalton this year, and they don't draft a quarterback, or they don't sign a quarterback, and they keep Dalton, they need a guy to pair with AJ Green.
Yeah.
They need a guy. And John Ross apparently is out. They're going to try to shop him, which, by the way, just a quick note, drafting John Ross at number 9 about a year or two ago was the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen in a draft. He had the best 40 time ever. I don't care. His talent was not first-round quality, and he went number 9.
He's just throwing people and just caught the ball.
I can't believe that, though. And he had the big injury, and now they're trying to trade him. So that really goes to show you can't completely rely on the combine for these kind of things. And I think a guy, and we're going to transition to it later, but still on the topic of Antonio Brown.
Le'Veon might be joining him, too.
Well, Le'Veon, yeah, and now I'm hearing Gruden might want to get Murray, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon.
Which, just imagine that, bro.
That would be ridiculous.
They did a Showtime in Vegas.
Here's the thing. It would be ridiculous, but my problem is they still have no defense. I mean, that is still a major issue for them. And again, that's why I don't think that they should go quarterback, whether it's Kyler or Dwayne Haskins, because Derek Carr is still serviceable. He's still serviceable. The problem is he doesn't have any weapons, especially after trading Amari Cooper to Dallas. I think what the Raiders need to do is get an edge rusher at 4, Josh Allen, even Quinn Williams.
Use all the value of their picks, man.
Somebody like that, yeah. And then at 24 and 27, you can get probably another defender. Probably somebody in secondary. They need help at corner.
You can get a corner. Greedy Williams could even drop there. You don't even
right,
know.
You never know. Greedy Williams is weird, too. The corner class is weird. But, yeah, they can get secondary. And then at 27, they can get a receiver.
Or even Drew Lock, develop him.
Right.
Like that.
Right, I could see that. But, again, I think next year's draft is what they should focus on with quarterbacks. And
yeah, that'd be smart.
See, I don't think Raiders need a quarterback now. I think the Giants need a quarterback right now. I think the Jaguars need a quarterback.
Miami.
I think Miami, Redskins need a quarterback.
Maybe
Bengals need a quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, there are these teams that need quarterbacks right now that I think it would be weird for the Raiders to just jump on and get Murray. I don't think he's worth. I don't think they'd have to trade all 3 first-rounders,
no.
But they would still have to trade probably 1 and 24, and probably even throw in another late pick. I mean, it's tough to trade for 1. You're gonna have to, it's gonna have to be a big package. So I don't know. I think the Raiders should stay in their lane, keep the 3 picks, unless a really good offer comes up where they can trade down, get more assets, and go that route. But I don't know. I do think the Raiders are in the best position in the draft. I think they, not just because they have 3 picks, but because they're all kind of scattered too, which I like. Like they have 4, and then they jump to 24 and 27, so they have potential to move up or down. But yeah, I don't know. Not to mention, there's so much depth to this draft class. I mean, I think that. Well, that's my thing though. Like, I feel like with quarterbacks in this draft class, there's 2. There's 2 that I think are worth drafting in the first round. You can make the argument that 4 quarterbacks or even 5 quarterbacks could be taken in the first round. You really could make that argument.
You could.
And
which I don't think it's going to happen, but
I don't know, man. It's happened. I mean, last year there was 5.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of
You had Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Josh Rosen.
Josh Allen.
And
then Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So you had 5 quarterbacks taken. I don't know. I don't think it's
up so far.
Yeah, it's not a good quarterback class, and for a team for the Raiders to reach and get a quarterback now, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, they have a lot of ways they can go. I personally with the Cardinals, I want to go back to this real quick. I don't think that Murray is a good route for them because if you look at the Cardinals, their biggest weakness in my book is offensive line. I know Rosen. I still think he has potential. I would honestly
give up on him that easily.
Yeah, right. And it is a really great offensive line class. So hypothetically, they can go Murray at 1, and then in the second round they can go for an offensive lineman. I don't know. I think if they don't go offensive line in the first 2 rounds, you're leaving Kyler Murray with an awful offensive line, maybe the worst in football. And again, I don't want to discredit him because of his height and his size, but when you're that little and you're put behind a god awful offensive line, injuries are imminent. I don't.
Especially for a Russian quarterback.
Right, and I don't feel if I'm Kyler Murray, I'm not feeling safe in Arizona. I am scared for my life, and I don't like that fit.
But the thing is, do you feel safe also in New York with that offensive lineman?
No, I don't.
So where does he go?
I don't know where Murray. That's the thing with Murray. I'm just so stuck on that.
But imagine that though: Saquon, Odell.
Okay,
Kyle Murray.
I like that, but again, offensive line is such a big issue for the Giants, and I think they need to address that more than anything. But at the same time, my favorite fit for Murray, it's a weird one, but I actually like him with the Redskins. They have a decent enough offensive line. I don't know. There's something about him and the Redskins. It just clicks for me. I think the Redskins have been lacking kind of that big stud quarterback that can run out of the pocket and make plays.
RG3.
That is also the kind of point against it is that they drafted RG3,
which makes sense.
Which was very similar picks. But no, I don't know. I think it gives some explosiveness. Alex Smith might be gone for his whole career. Colt McCoy, they said they are fine with starting about a week ago. I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
They must be smoking something
and
good.
Okay, not just talent-wise, but Colt McCoy also hurt his leg at the end of the year. And they were left with nothing. So you have an injury concern with this kid now. Redskins need a quarterback. I think no matter what happens in this draft, Redskins are going to get a quarterback. Even if it's Drew Lock or even Daniel Jones, which I don't agree with, but I think Redskins are going to be too pressed to get a quarterback because unless the free agency, but again, I don't think there's really that many available. Well, I think Foles is a done deal for the Jags. That's why I think Jags are out of the trade talks, like trading up. I think Jags are going to stick at 7.
They're going to be very smart and pick up Nick Foles, which I think is the best quarterback signing in that class, just because how clutch he is, and if you get to the playoffs, you'll be all right. And let's not forget, a year ago, the Jaguars' defense was number 1 in the league. They were killer.
The defense is still there.
They just dipped down. It's just now maybe we'll have a bounce back year. They have Leonard Fournette coming back after that injury all year.
Right.
And you just need to find one more receiver maybe.
Well, and that's I want to plug that in. DK Metcalf, number 7 to the Jags. If they sign Nick Foles. I've seen Jags. I've seen a lot of them where like they get an offensive lineman like Juwan Taylor or Jonah Williams, which I do agree with. They do need help in the offensive line, and they do want to protect Nick Foles. But DK Metcalf could be a potential all-star. I mean,
he's gonna be the next. He could be the next Calvin Johnson.
He really. I mean,
thinking about that.
It's funny because I was really against him, like ceiling-wise, like putting him really that high, athleticism-wise and size-wise. Like he does remind me of almost like a Calvin Johnson or like a. God, let me think. I'm trying to think of because he's so unique that it's hard to even give him a comparison. Maybe
tall wise,
but that speed is so ridiculous. I will say though, I don't think DK Metcalf has the highest ceiling. Out of the receiver class, it's tough. I do really like N'Keal Harry. He did. It's funny. N'Keal Harry. I thought he was 6'4". Ends up he's 6'2", which kind of discourages me. But he made some amazing plays at Arizona State. A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf's teammate, was really fantastic. Best hands in the draft class. There's a lot of depth at receiver. So reaching at number 7 for receiver, I get it's weird.
But if he did what he did at the Combine, he broke. Yeah. He was faster than Brandon Cooks. He was stronger than some offensive linemen.
Right.
Like, it's just crazy to think about.
I think he ran a 4.33.
Yeah.
I mean, what? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
1.6 body fat? Hello?
Insane. Again, though, his hands do worry me, and I don't know. I mean, again, he'll develop, and he'll get better, obviously, but I don't know. I do think, though, Jags are going to have to reach at 7. And if they don't reach at 7, they get an offensive lineman, DK's going to the Bills at 9. DK does not lead the top 10.
No.
Even the Broncos at 10 can go receiver. I mean, they don't have Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah.
They have
Sanders is on his downfall.
Yeah, and Emmanuel Sanders is getting older. He's like 31, I think, now. And then they have Cortland Sutton, who actually I do like him.
He's last year.
Yeah, he's going into the second year, but if you get DK even for the Broncos to
who's their quarterback though?
Joe Flacco or Case Keenum.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
But either one of those two. But even then, yeah, I don't know. Broncos are in a really.
They can even draft a quarterback.
I think real quick, Broncos are in a limbo. I mean, I don't know where they stand. They have a really good. Well, they have a young defense. I think they can progressively get better, but yeah, their offense is just in a standstill. I have no idea what their offense is doing. Offensive line struggled too. I don't know. Broncos are in a really, really weird place. But yeah, DK won't leave the top 10. I think I had him going 15 to the Redskins or 17 to the Browns in my other mock drafts. That's not happening, especially after this combine. He will be overdrafted. Like, again, if John Ross was able to get overdrafted at 9, DK is going to go really big. I think his ceiling, draft-wise, is 3 to the Jets, which is crazy to think. But again, Jets do have a need at receiver. I'm just saying, I don't think it's going to happen, but it definitely could. That's his ceiling. And his floor in the draft, I guess, is 17 to the Browns. If something happens, like if he's, like, for instance, we saw, what's his name? Laramie Tunsil, the offensive lineman got drafted by Miami. The day of the draft, pictures of him got leaked with him with the fucking weed.
Smoking.
Yeah, whatever, the mask. And He dropped to 13 when he was projected to go top 5 that day. Like, it was literally just like that, his draft stock fell.
Why don't if something comes out him using steroids or something?
Right, and with Metcalf, I wouldn't doubt it. I'm not saying he is, but to have that 1.6 body fat and the fucking, I mean, how tough I don't know, I'm not saying he is on steroids, but I wouldn't be too shocked if something like that developed. But again, and that goes for all players, though. If something gets leaked, that's why it's really hard to mock now. Especially even with trades, and you still have the free agency. You still have Antonio Brown available, Le'Veon. All these safeties available in the free agency. You got Landon Collins, LaMarcus Joyner, Tyrann Mathieu is available too.
Iloka,
he's older, but again, available.
Earl Thomas,
right, he's available too. And I just found out that the Cowboys are not going to take him, which I find very weird. They tried trading with Seattle last year for him, and it didn't work. And now they say, oh, he's too expensive, we're not going to go for him, or Landon Collins. Cowboys are terribly run. We already know this. But yeah, really weird. But yeah, no, it is hard to project what's going to happen, obviously. It's fun to make mock drafts, but at the end of the day, we're probably not going to get anywhere close to knowing what's going to happen.
I want to see one day full mock draft perfect. Yeah, that's not.
I want to see that happening one day. It's got to happen sometime. I mean, but again, trades are really weird too. I mean, there's so many ways it can go. I mean, even last year with the Saints trading up for Marcus Davenport, they gave up 2 first rounders to the fucking Packers.
Yeah,
that's why they have 12 and 30. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a really, really interesting draft. I kind of want to go into mocking right now if you're interested. And let's go through the list real quick.
Let's go down that road.
No, we'll do it quickly. But number 1, I have Kyler. For now, Cardinals are going to stick with Kyler. I don't think they're going to trade. I think they got their guy.
I'll keep Kyler there.
I'm going to keep Kyler at 1. I don't. And again, I'm not. These aren't the picks I think should happen. There is the picks I think will happen. I got Kyler at 1. At 2, with the 49ers, they're going to get Bosa. If they can land Bosa at 2, they're going to be so stoked to have him. I mean, they need help on defense, and Bosa will automatically change them. And especially in the division with, I think I said last podcast, in the NFC West with Goff and Russell Wilson and probably Kyler Murray. So you're going to, and again, I just keep thinking Bosa against the Arizona defense, he will get to Kyler Murray at least 5 times, 6 times in the game. He will absolutely demolish that O-line. But anyway, yeah, 3, I got Jets going. It's tough with the Jets. I got them going Quinnen Williams, though.
I have that.
Because they run a 4-3.
It makes the most sense if he does not get drafted 2 or 3, whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, if he goes 3, makes sense for them. I know they could use a quarterback, though.
Yeah.
Not quarterback. Wide receiver, that's what I meant.
Wide receiver, yeah. I can see that.
Or getting Josh Allen, but I see the best fit is being Williams.
Well, right, and scheme fit with Quinnen Williams, it makes more sense. They got the Jets have Greg Williams now, who is the former defensive coordinator of the Browns. It's now the defensive coordinator of the Jets. He runs a 4-3. Josh Allen doesn't really fit in there. They're going to get Quinnen Williams. They also have Adam Gase, who is a very big fan of drafting defensive linemen like he did in Miami. So I think Quinnen Williams is an easy pick at 3 for the Jets. But again, they are trade partner potential.
Yeah,
I do think they could trade down for
whoever
Giants.
Wants a quarterback.
I think Giants could trade up.
New York trade.
I could see that, and now that I say it, I'm gonna do that. Actually, I'm gonna change them. I got Giants trading up from 6 to 3 to the Jets because I can't see the Giants not trading up. If Dwayne Haskins is available at 3, which he most likely will be, I can't see them just saying, "Oh yeah, we'll wait till 6 and see what happens." I can't see them. I think the Giants need a quarterback now. Somebody to develop under Eli next year. I think they're going to trade up to 3, and they're going to get Dwayne Haskins, right? So at 4 to the Raiders, 4 they get Josh Allen. I think that's obvious.
That's pretty obvious, yeah.
When the Raiders, I think it was week 15 around, Raiders were projected to get the 1st overall pick or the 2nd overall pick. I had him going Josh Allen either way. If he falls to 4, they're going to pick him up, no doubt. Replaces Khalil Mack just like that. Not saying that he's as talented. He's not. And not only that, but I think he actually compares more to a guy like Anthony Barr more than Khalil Mack, but anyway, he fits in with the Raiders perfectly. 5 to the Bucks. Bucks are a really weird team. Now, since I made the trade, Quinnen Williams is available, so if the Bucks won, they could. It's a weird one. I got the Bucks at 5 going Rashawn Gary to Michigan.
Really?
He had a really great combine. He's 6'4", 280, great speed, great technique. He he is more, I don't want to say a project player, but he has a ton of potential, and I think the Bucks would want to take a chance with him. And I think at 5 they get him. They need help on the defensive line, and I think they would go for him over Quinnen Williams, just for the mere fact that they did just draft a defensive tackle last year in Vita Vea. So I think they would go Rashawn Gary at 5, and at 6 the Jets trade down with the Giants. I don't know what they get from him, probably a decent amount, and they still land Quinnen Williams. I'm telling you, I got a really good feeling about this.
I think Quinnen Williams, though,
if the Giants trade up to 3, and they get a quarterback, I don't think Quinnen Williams gets taken from the Jets or the Bucks. There's a chance, the Raiders and the Bucks. Because I don't see the Raiders getting Quinnen Williams, especially if Josh Allen's available. And the Bucks, I have them going more of an edge rusher than a defensive tackle. Not to mention, they still have Gerald McCoy. He's older, but they do have 2 starting defensive tackles there. I think getting Quinnen Williams would just not make much sense. They could even go Montez Sweat at 5. But yeah, I got Rashawn Gary, and then at 6, I got the Jets getting Quinnen Williams, which I don't really have to explain, because I already did.
I mean, you could even have DK Metcalf fall there.
You could.
But best available, Quinnen Williams.
You can't, if Quinnen Williams is available, they can't pass up on him. Now,
which would be crazy.
If Quinnen Williams were to get taken before then I could see Jets going DK, but nah. I got Quinnen Williams at 6. 7 with the Jags. They're in an interesting position. I have them going Juwan Taylor, offensive tackle from Florida. Again, they can't get either quarterbacks they wanted. They could go DK Metcalf, like we said before. I don't know, though. I think if they get Foles, they would probably opt to get an offensive lineman instead. They do need desperate help at offensive line. So they go Juwan Taylor. Not a lot of explaining there. He had a much better combine than Jordan Williams, and a lot of teams like him much more. So, at 8 is the Lions.
Are they really that bad? Damn. I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Lions are at 8.
8? God,
I originally had him going with Rashawn Gary, I think my other mock draft. Since he's at 5, I have the Lions going Montez Sweat. They're a defensive-minded team with Matt Patricia. They're going to go, and they need desperate help at defensive end. I think Ezekiel Ansah is actually leaving the team. They need somebody to come in. There you go. Montez Sweat will immediately fit that role. I would have Ja'Kai Polite there, but we'll get to that later. Had a really poor combine, so not going to get into that.
We have 9 now, right?
9 of the Bills. It's going to be DK.
Yeah,
they need all. They need that. I think if DK falls to 9 of the Bills, I don't think the Bills will hesitate for a second. They could go with a guy like Ed Oliver maybe because they did lose. What's his
Kyle
name?
Williams.
Yep, Kyle Williams. So I don't know, but yeah, DK will.
Imagine
DK
that, him and Josh Allen. Josh at the cannon.
Yeah,
and then
that would be deadly.
That
would be deadly. That would be deadly. And I think the Bills do need offensive line help too. So I could totally see Jonah Williams being picking at 9. But I think if DK's available at 9, they're not gonna pass up. At 10, we got the Broncos. As of right now, it's tough. As of right now, I have Grady Williams. They need help in the secondary desperately, and they could go offense, but I can't see them passing up on a guy like Grady Williams, who really, really showed up at the combine. He did a phenomenal job, especially with the 40. He ran a 4.37. Are issues with inconsistencies, not a great tackler, but I think he could develop really well under Chris Harris. I like Denver going with Grady Williams at 10.
He did pretty well in the combine.
He did do really well in the combine. He was the best corner at the combine for sure. So, at 11.
Who's at 11?
Bengals. We got Bengals at 11. They do need a quarterback. So they're going quarterback. They're going with Drew Lock. I don't think Drew Lock should be taken this early, but I think that the Bengals are going to say, you know what, we got to move on from Andy Dalton. Something needs to change. They just fired Marvin Lewis.
Who's now with the Browns.
Right.
At the Browns.
Or not the Browns. It's Marvin. Maybe.
Yeah, I think he's with the Browns. No.
I don't know. Well, wherever he is, he never did very well with the Bengals. So I literally don't care wherever Marvin Lewis is. I want to say.
Whatever.
Where's he at? Where is he?
Hold on. He is with the. He says he's still with the Bengals.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they fired him.
Me too.
Maybe, you know what, maybe because every year we think that he's going to get fired, and then he ends up not getting fired. Which is really...
Wait, former? Hold on. Am I, stupid?
Oh, no, yeah, he finally got fired. Yeah, he's fired. Who's the Bengals coach, then?
I don't know.
We are having a total brain fart right now. I can't...
Oh, I'm thinking the guy.
Zach Taylor replaced him.
I'm thinking about the guy from the Browns.
I can't. Yeah, he's the dude from the Rams. He's now coaching him. Okay. Oh, Hugh Jackson.
Yeah,
that's what you're thinking of. He moved to the Bengals. Yeah. Okay.
He moved to the Bengals.
Yep. But yeah, no, Bengals. They got a new coach. They finally. So I definitely have him going Drew Lock, and at the least maybe develop under Andy Dalton, but he'd probably start ahead of Andy Dalton. But
You think so?
I think so. Eventually, maybe like a Baker.
Yeah, Baker deal.
Tyrod situation, but
Tyrod's free agent now too.
So I got Drew Lock going at 11, and then we got the Packers. They're in such a weird spot at 12. I think they're going to go T.J. Hawkinson. They do need a tight end. Jimmy Graham is 32. He's digressing. I think the Packers, what they should do is go with a guy like Noah Fant or Irv Smith at 30, because they also do have 30. But I think they're going to just get T.J. Hawkinson. He's been compared to Travis Kelce and even Gronk, which are big comparisons.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I could definitely see him going there. Yeah, but Packers are a weird team to kind of predict at this point. But yeah, I do have the Packers going T.J. Hawkinson at 12. So we got the Miami Dolphins at 13. I really don't know. I'm pretty stuck on this pick because
you can make the case though for quarterback just because they could use one.
Yeah,
I mean, but who are they going to draft?
That's the thing. Now even with Drew Lock out, they're not going to go and reach for Daniel Jones at 13.
That's way too high.
Way too high. They could trade up. Like I could totally see them trading up to get a quarterback maybe. Because now they got Brian Flores, who was the defensive coordinator for the Packers, the Patriots. So I could see them going that way. I don't know. They're really weird. I'm trying to think. I could see them going Ed Oliver at D tackle. They do need help at defensive tackle. However, at 13, I have the Miami Dolphins. I got them going Cleveland Farrell, defensive end from Clemson. I'm seeing a lot of mocks even drop him lower, like even to like the 20s, which I think is a bit too low for him when he was actually pretty much projected to be a top 10 player. I think he goes into Miami. I assume they're going to run a 4-3. He excels at that. He's got good size, decent speed.
For the fun, bro.
Honestly, yeah. But yeah, no, I got him going Cleveland Farrell, which leaves us with the Falcons. Yeah, I think it's the Falcons at 14. They're also in a really weird position.
Because they're good but bad at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm weird with the Falcons. Because they could go with an edge rusher as well. They do need help on defensive line. Ed Oliver.
They're still there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really tough one. I got the Falcons going Brian Burns from Florida State. He really improved with his size. He's now 6'4", 6'5", 250. He really bulked up. He's got great speed, great edge rusher. I like him with the Falcons there at 14, especially in a division, again, like I said with the NFC West. The NFC South has, the Saints, the Panthers, so you got Cam Newton, you got Drew Brees. I think you need a guy that can pressure them, and the Falcons obviously had an awful defense last year. So that does immediately impact their defense. So yeah, I got Brian Burns going at 14. 15 with the Redskins. Again, I would say Redskins going with a quarterback, but
Daniel Jones though.
I don't like Daniel Jones that much, and from what I'm hearing, I hear a lot of scouts are they're not a big fan of him. He's not first round caliber, and I don't think a team like the Redskins are going to reach for him at 15. But then that does leave them with a lot of questions. Do you go with a receiver? Maybe do you go with They could even go corner. I mean, it would be again
safety. They just lost. What's his name?
They could go safety. They did lose Haha Clinton-Dix, but again, there's not really a lot of safeties that are worth that kind of pick. No. You know what I mean? I don't know if I see them going that high, but I don't know. I think Redskins are a really tough team to project. They could even go offensive line, but their offensive line is kind of solidified.
Yeah.
They're good at running back. Receiver, I would give him DK. He's not available. So it's tough to give him a receiver either, because then you got a guy like Marquise Brown who's really great that they could end up getting a receiver, but I don't think he's talented enough to go 15. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the Redskins a question mark at 15. I honestly have no idea. There's so many ways they can go, and by this mock draft that we're doing right here, none of the positions or players that I thought that they would get are there available. So I'm just gonna give them a big old.
Will Fink could go there? Is it or Jordan Reed being still injured?
Maybe, but again, I don't think tight end is like that big a need from right now. I do think Jordan Reed is injury prone. But I don't know. I think that's too much of a reach there.
It's a question mark.
I'm just gonna give him. I'm giving him a goddamn question mark. Man, I have no.
We'll give him a kicker. Why not?
Yeah, let's give him a fucking kicker. Why not? No, I honestly have no idea. Yeah, it's a weird one, but
who's there at 16? We're at, right?
At 16, I have the Panthers.
They're in a position too. Like,
they're tough. They're gonna go defensive lineman either way.
Ed Oliver's still there.
Ed Oliver is still available. I don't know. Oh my god, I don't know. Panthers are really tough with that. They need help on the defensive line. They need help on the secondary. They really need help with the secondary. So I want to give him a corner, and I'm debating between DeAndre Baker from Georgia, not from Ohio State, or Byron Murphy from Washington. They're both really talented. But for the Panthers, I'm gonna go ahead on a whim and just give him DeAndre Baker. He's really physical. He's a solid corner. He's gonna be productive from day one.
We talked about him last time. So
yeah, I don't really have any issues with them there. So
17. Who we got there, Sean?
At 15, I just want to say, by the way.
Okay.
At 15, I want to give the Redskins a pick. I want to give him Jonah Williams, because I don't think he's going to fall that far. And if he falls to 15, he's a really good offensive lineman. Apparently, a lot of teams are saying they want to move him to guard, which I can now see. Because if you watch the NCAA championship game with Clemson and Alabama, Jonah Williams got mowed down by Cleveland Farrell multiple times. So at tackle, he is worrisome, but at guard, he could work. And the Redskins, especially after that gruesome injury of Alex Smith, they want to protect whoever they have under center, which
they
we don't
move
know.
The left guard, because their right guard's pretty young.
No, yeah, they actually have a really Brandon Sheriff, I think.
Yeah, him.
But yeah, they not to mention their
I think they still
they have Trent Williams at off tackle. He's like 34 now, though. I think he's older. But yeah, they do need a guard. I think they'll go with him. That'll give them a really good offensive line. But yeah, they want to protect their quarterback. So at 17 in the Browns,
Cleveland.
I want to give them a receiver. I don't know. So now, see, we forgot about somebody.
Who we forget?
We forgot about Devin White, linebacker from LSU.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I want to stick with this mock draft, though, because I do think we did a good job with needs. I think a lot of teams need, and I think with Devin White, especially after that great combine, I have him going to the Browns. I think they're going to lose Jamie Collins. I think they cut him. I believe they cut him. Either way, the Browns' defense would be absolutely stacked. You got a great leader, Devin White. He can go up and down the field. Fantastic speed, great coverage. Bit inconsistent as a tackler, but again, that's something that he can improve.
Their defense is pretty young.
They would, yeah. They really have a really young defense.
They have Darius Randall at safety. They have, I forget who they have at corner.
They have a Denzel Ward.
Okay, yeah.
Corner who's really
and
solid.
And then their linebacker had a really good season.
Yeah. I think if you get Devin White, that solidifies Browns as a major threat at defense. Like
their offense is pretty good already. So I mean, hey.
Yeah.
They'll might give them some playoff hopes too.
Yeah. I'm totally down for that.
Bring one to Cleveland.
Yeah. At 18 to the Vikings,
offensive line.
Yeah, and it's tough.
That center?
Because they got guys like Cody Ford are available.
Yeah.
Dalton Reisner's available.
Greg
who's
Little's
really good. I have the Vikings. I got him going Dalton Reisner. He's a center. He can play guard. He can play tackle. He can play all 5 positions. I think they're going to go with the Vikings because Vikings need desperate help with the offensive line. Not to mention a guy like Dalton Reisner who's that versatile. You can kind of plug him in anywhere.
Yeah.
That's kind of an easy pick, actually. At 19, I believe we have the Titans. We got the Titans. It's another tough one. I would have given him a guy like Brian Burns. I think at 19, and I know he didn't have a great combine. I know a lot of teams were kind of turned off by him, but I have the Titans going Ja'Kai Polite at 19. He's an absolute monster. He's an absolute stud at defensive end. He's a great edge rusher. Titans desperately need help there. Pair him up with Jarrell Casey.
Was his problem in the interviews and stuff?
Interviews, yeah. A lot of teams dropped him off the big boards, but a lot of teams actually added him to the big boards and actually had him rising in big boards just because they know how talented he is. Maybe the Titans are one of those teams. You never know.
We'll find out.
We're gonna find out, but I do like the Titans getting him. 20. I think with the Steelers, I like them going with a corner, and Greedy Williams and DeAndre Baker are taken. I got them going Byron Murphy.
Joe Hayden, or he'll learn a lot from Joe Hayden, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah. They just really need help with that secondary got torn apart all season. They don't want that to happen again. They are losing like Antonio Brown and they're losing Le'Veon, but again, they're kind of set at running back with Connor. Yeah, I think they definitely need help in the secondary. No matter where they go, they could even go safety if they really want to, but I think corner is where they're going to go. They go Byron Murphy at 20.
21.
Let me see. 21 is Seattle.
That's your team.
It's a weird situation because they usually trade down. Not to mention they don't have second, 6th, or 7th round picks. So, odds are they trade down. However, if this absolute stud, a defensive tackle, is available by the name of Ed Oliver, Seattle's they're not gonna miss out on that. And again, like we talked about, we got teams like the Falcons that might go ahead and pick him. I get that, but according by this mock draft, Ed Oliver's available at 21. Seattle wanted to pair him up with Jerron Reed. They got Frank Clark. They just franchise tagged him. I could even see Ja'Kai Polite going to Seattle, but
if he ends up there,
but I got Ed Oliver at 21 in Seattle. That's kind of a no-brainer. That's one of those picks where I'm like, nah. Especially like that he's being compared with a guy like Aaron Donald, who's a divisional rival. I think if you get a guy like Ed Oliver, that immediately changes things in Seattle. And Pete Carroll, again, he won't even hesitate to get him. We did get a defensive tackle a year or two ago, Malik McDowell, in the 2nd round. It was our first pick of the draft. He ended up getting like an ATV accident, and now his career is pretty much over. Yeah, not great. So it does show that Seattle really does want to improve their defensive line or defensive tackle position. If Ed Oliver's available, they're obviously going to get him. Ravens at 22, I got a receiver. They do need receivers.
You do AJ Brown?
It's between two guys. It's between AJ Brown. Sorry, 3 guys. AJ Brown, N'Keal Harry, and Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, the Ravens are going to go ahead and get Marquise Brown from Oklahoma. He's got that great speed.
Him and Lamar. Good
catching ability. Him and Lamar Jackson with the long ball threat. I think that's kind of a decent pick. Also, look out for Paris Campbell. I think he played for Ohio State. Yeah, he played for Ohio State. He jumped up in like all these mock drafts I've been seeing. Every single one has him in the 1st round, which I had him like late 2nd. Apparently, he had a really great combine. Good route running ability. So watch out for him. Yeah, so we got 2 receivers taken so far. Ravens are obviously going to pick him. Then we got the Texans at 23. They're another tough one.
Losing a safety, I know that.
I could see them going with a secondary. I could see them going with a tight end.
Noah Fant that's still there.
Noah Fant is still available.
Irv Smith still there.
Irv Smith is still available. I don't know. Texans are a tough one, man. I don't really know.
Who do they have at running back?
They got Lamar Miller, and like I don't really see them going with like a Josh Jacobs or somebody like that.
I just wondered who was there.
Yeah, running back class is not too pretty. I mean, honestly, my favorite running back is Darrell Henderson at Memphis, but he'll probably fall to like the 2nd or 3rd round. So that really goes to show how poor this running back class really is. At 23, the Texans, they do need help on the O-line. I got the Texans going Cody Ford. He was projected to be a top 15 pick for a while, but now he kind of slipped. And if he falls through the cracks, if he falls through the Texans, let me see. Who would we have? Dalton Risner or the Vikings? If Cody Ford is going to pick there, he's going to fall to 23, and he goes with the Texans. They need to protect Deshaun Watson. They desperately need the help.
That's their franchise right there.
Yeah, so very flawed offensive line. They get Cody Ford that fixes that immediately.
We're up 24, right?
Now we're at the Raiders. This is a really fun
Kobe
team
season.
to pick. This is a really fun team to pick. Man, I don't
But we
know.
had them picking last time.
At 4,
Yeah, was that Josh Allen?
I have Josh Allen.
Okay.
Yeah. So they got edge rusher. They could go with secondary, maybe with safety. I would say linebacker, but Devin White's picked. They could go with
Receiver.
They could go with Devin Bush. I got them going AJ Brown at 24. N'Keal Harry just hasn't been getting a ton of hype. AJ Brown has phenomenal hands, great route running ability. I think that they would go with the safer pick out of the two, and they're going to go AJ Brown at 24. 25 Eagles. Really, really interesting pick here. I am
say they go
going.
corner.
They could go corner. I got corner, defensive tackle, and linebacker are the 3 needs. Who do you got going at 25? If you had to pick for the Eagles, because my thing is,
I say some corner. I don't know.
I would love for them to go corner, but if all
It's a big
three,
need.
if all 3 of the corners were taken, I can't see them reaching. I really can't see them reaching for like a Trayvon Mullen or a Julian Love out of Notre Dame. I can't see them reaching that high.
Who's
That's
that
my
linebacker?
problem. That leads to my decision, my
Okay.
pick. I got the Eagles going Devin Bush from Michigan. He's
Yeah,
a
it's
small
still there.
linebacker,
Yeah.
very versatile, and I think that gives that defense kind of a fresh breath air.
What did he run?
He ran, I don't know his 40, but I just said a fresh of breath air, and I find that really funny. I literally said fresh of breath air. I do that a lot. I think I said that last podcast even. I don't know.
I can
I
probably
don't,
find it.
whatever. Yeah, try to find that. No, but I got Eagles going Devin Bush. They could trade out of the spot too.
Very
I can
true.
see that, but Colts at 26. They're another team that could go D tackle.
We're at 4.44.
Yeah, no, Devin Bush is quick.
Goddamn.
Devin Bush is really quick, and I like him at linebacker. I didn't like him before, but then I kind of saw some of his tape, and I kind of dig him. But again, he's like 6 foot, maybe 5. I think he might even be 5'11". But again, size doesn't always matter. You heard it here first.
Size does not matter, ladies and gentlemen.
No, but yeah, I got let me see. We got the Colts at 26.
26.
Not a lot of trades in this mock. I'm okay with that because that is kind of tough. I just wanted to go through these. So 26 of the Colts, receiver or defensive tackle. They could go Dexter Lawrence at defensive tackle there. I could totally see that happening. Man, this is a really tough one. I got the Colts going N'Keal Harry. They do need help at receiver. They want to pair him up with T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y.'s getting old.
They need Andrew Luck to give them a weapon. I think that N'Keal Harry is a really good pick there. I do wish that he was 6'4" and not 6'2", but he is still a very versatile player. Great, like big catch ability, big play ability. Route running apparently is a concern. His burst off of the line is a concern. Creating separation, but I don't think separation is a huge need in the NFL, especially with how talented corners are nowadays. I don't think that's a huge issue. And that's also something that can be improved. So I got N'Keal Harry at 26. At 27, we got the Raiders again.
Quarterback.
I don't know. I don't know.
Somewhat.
I don't.
Depends. Flock's there.
Yeah, I don't know.
already
Raiders
said
are a
that,
tough
so.
one. Because the Raiders go Josh Allen. They could still go with a defensive tackle. I mean, I think a sleeper pick is Jerry Tillery at Notre Dame. He's a 6'7" defensive tackle at Notre Dame. He actually ran a really good 40. I think it was under 5. Which is crazy for a guy who's 6'7". Trying to think of the Raiders. I mean, again, they could. Honest to God, they could go for another receiver if they really want to, because they don't have a lot of receivers on that team. I think they have Jordy Nelson.
He's
That's it.
he's a tad bit old.
That's it. They got
Well,
Jordy
Cordell
Nelson,
Patterson.
man. And yeah, but again, I think if they really want to, they could go with.
He's a free agent though.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. I think Raiders could go for another receiver. If they were to go for another receiver. Who do they have? They had AJ Brown, right? I think at 24. Yeah.
So that would be.
They could go with again like a Paris Campbell if they want to.
Harry's still there?
Kelvin Harmon from NC State is somebody that's being very grossly undervalued. He's a very physical, very tall player. Man, I don't know. I do think they could trade down. I would not be shocked if they trade down for 27. They got 2 guys already. They might say, you know what, 27, fuck it, we're gonna trade down. Man, I don't know.
Question mark.
I want to give him a question mark really bad. I really do. I don't know though. You know what? I'm trying to think. I'm gonna give the Raiders. I'm gonna go off on a limb. I'm gonna give the Raiders Dexter Lawrence at 27.
Okay.
They pair him up with Josh Allen. That defensive line is ridiculous. Ridiculous defensive line with Josh Allen and Dexter Lawrence there. I do think they have a decent defensive tackle there. They have the kid Maurice Hurst from Michigan, who's not bad. They also got, I think, P.J. Hall, who's not bad either. But I think getting Dexter Lawrence, a big threat. Pair him up with Josh Allen, that would be deadly. And I know he had the whole substance, whatever. He got banned from, or he got suspended, and he couldn't play in the championship game, which will be concerning with a lot of scouts. But
he still gets his ring though.
Right. Yeah. So that's a good point. He got his fucking ring. But yeah, I don't know. I got the Raiders going Dexter Lawrence at 27. So we got the Chargers at 28.
That is.
They need a safety. They did get Derwin James last year. They still have an empty spot.
Is freaking Antonio Gates still playing?
Nope. But they do have Hunter Henry, but then you have the injuries. I don't know.
ACL.
Yeah, but I think Chargers are done with drafting offensive players for now, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
Chargers, I do like them getting a defensive tackle, though. I do like that because they do need help on the defensive tackle
Ingram
position.
on the line.
They got Ingram and Bosa.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
She's deadly, but then I don't think they have a lot of defensive tackles. So I'm gonna go off on a limb. I'm gonna give the Chargers. I think they go Jerry Tillery from Notre Dame. Huge player. Imagine that defensive line would be so scary.
Did he have like a crazy combine?
So scary. I think Tillery had a decent combine. I think he ran a decent enough 40. Let me check real quick what he benched. But yeah, I really, really like Jerry Tillery. He's very undervalued. I like him at 28 with the Chargers. That'd be so scary. I'm sorry, but like Bosa, Ingram, and him. Yeah, he's 6'6", 295. He ran a 4.93. He didn't bench as well as I wanted him to. I think he benched like 24. But still, he's a major threat.
He ran faster than Dwayne Haskins.
He ran faster than Dwayne Haskins. You heard it here first. Let me think. At 29, who's at 29?
When are the Patriots up?
Shit. Patriots 32, 29.
Is there 32 teams, right? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Chiefs.
Oh.
Chiefs go Nazir Adderley. They need safety. They need Paramount for Eric Berry. Their secondary is so bad. I would have them going corner, but I think the corners will be taken by then. Nazir Adderley, Chiefs. I think that's the easiest pick I've.
You got from Delaware, right?
Yep, I think it's the easiest pick we've made.
I
will say though, Taylor Rapp from Washington, his stock skyrocketed after the combine. So Taylor Rapp could sneak into the first, and I think Deontay Thompson, safe from Alabama, is going to dip into the second round. At 30, we got Green Bay. They got T.J. Hawkinson at 12.
Okay. I don't know how you remember that.
So I do think it sucks for them in terms of like if they waited, they could have got Noah Fant, at 30.
Yeah.
But I think the Packers are going to be okay with that. I think they're going to go with they need an edge rusher, and I could totally see them going with an edge rusher like at 12. You know what though? Packers, they do need offensive line really bad. They want to protect Aaron Rodgers. They have no one at, I believe their guard positions are pretty weak. They have Bakhtiari at left tackle, and then they have oh god, what's his name? Balaga at right tackle. They have Corey Lindsey, I think, at center, but then their guards are not. I think they have. I don't know. See, the fact that we don't know is an issue. I have them going guard. I'm going Garrett Bradbury. So they get two offensive players. They get Garrett Bradbury. They'll plug him in at guard. He'll be phenomenal. They got him at 30. Then at 31, we have the Rams. We talked about Jeffrey Simmons, and we talked about all the controversy behind the off-field issues. Rams won't have an issue with that.
No.
They want help at defensive tackle. They got it with Jeffrey Simmons. Arguably, he's a top 10 talent. He will obviously fall because he wasn't at the combine and because of all, again, off-field issues. He'll go 31 to the Rams, and that's just the Rams defense is so scary. I mean, just as a Seahawks fan, if they get Jeffrey Simmons and he's able to play and won't be suspended,
games, huh?
Dude, it's gonna be so freaky.
They do need to score more points in the Super Bowl, though.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. They do. But I think the offense can handle itself. They're gonna go with Jeffrey Simmons at 31, and that leaves us with the final pick of the first round. I want to say the Patriots. Go with like Noah Fant, or even Irv Smith. I want it because I talked about earlier. I think I'm gonna go with the trade, and I think that the Cardinals are gonna trade their first round. Or sorry, that the Patriots are gonna trade their first round pick for Josh Rosen.
You are right.
I really do. I think the Patriots. They could even go with Daniel Jones here if they really want to, because they do want a quarterback. I think they get Josh Rosen for the
Tom Brady's scheme and everything.
Yeah, I really like Rosen in New England, man. That if they can develop him, that would be scary. And I think the Patriots pull the trigger. They give 30 to the Cardinals. So the Cardinals have 32. They would love an edge rusher too. However,
they need offensive line.
Offensive lineman. They go with Andre Dillard. He is a very agile offensive lineman. I'm a big fan of him. His stock rose tremendously. He played for Washington State. They need to protect Kyler Murray. And if they're able to get 32 with Andre Dillard, that's an absolute steal. And I'm not going to go into the second round. However, I will do the first pick of the second round, which is the Cardinals again. So dude has 2 straight picks. That's actually a tougher one than I thought it would be. But I do have the Cardinals because I thought they would go Quinn Williams even at 1. They do need help on the defensive line. I got the Cardinals at 33. Yeah, 33. I'm going Christian Wilkins from Clemson, defensive tackle, who I think is going to be that one guy that just weirdly falls out of the first round. There's always that player this year. Like every year, there's that one guy that's like, wait, why did he fall? Like, there wasn't any off-field issues. There wasn't any,
it just happened.
It just kind of happens, and I think Christian Wilkins will fall. Or you could even switch. I had Jerry Tillery. He could end up swapping. They might end up going with Christian Wilkins earlier instead, and then Tillery to the Cardinals. But I do think if the Cardinals do trade Rosen for 32, they will go off with offensive line. And to be quite frank with you, they could even go with another offensive tackle at 33 with Yandi Cashist, I think. Weird ass last name from West Virginia, but he's really talented too. So they get 2 talented offensive tackles. But I do think they want to kind of spread the wealth, so they'll go with the quarterback, the O-lineman, and then at 33 with a very impactful defensive tackle, a great leader at defensive tackle, pairing with Chandler Jones. Cardinals slowly but surely become more of a threat, and
who knows?
That's the mock draft.
I do have 2 things I want to talk about real quick, though.
Tell me.
So, back when you were talking about the Rams pick, I just want to bring this up about the Rams.
Yeah, right.
You see what happened with Todd Gurley?
No.
He has... What the fuck is it? You know how your hands get sore?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, I think I did hear something about that.
How his knee has arthritis.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, I did hear about... That's really bad. I did read something about that. Yeah. That is... Okay, if that's true, and that's like I mean, that's an issue, man.
Like,
that is a huge issue.
Maybe that's why he didn't perform in the Super Bowl. You don't know.
Oh, my God, that's right. Holy crap. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gurley might be in trouble.
Hiding the injury.
It could. So the Rams could, yeah. And that kind of leads me to this, is that in our mock, no running backs are taken.
Where does a running back fall? When is the first running back you taken?
I can see the Bucks in the second round. Because I see mocks where the Bucks go with Josh Jacobs at 5.
No. What are they smoking?
I don't know. I get running back. Running back is a need.
That's crazy.
But Bruce Arians is not going to bite and go with a fucking running back. Who do we have them going at 5?
Do we have a corner?
Thought we had Greedy Williams. No, we haven't gone to the Broncos. We haven't gone to the Broncos.
I don't know.
Who do we have? Oh, we had Rashawn Gary.
Oh, yeah.
Which I do see happening. Bruce Arians, he wants a good defender there. And they need an edge rusher so badly. They do need secondary, too. So I think if the Bucks had the opportunity, they'd probably go secondary in the second round instead of a running back. So running back...
Who gets it?
I could see...
The thing is, none of these running backs will be a starter in the league.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Like, right off the bat, I mean, I like Damian Harris. I mean, Darrell Henderson from Memphis is my favorite running back by far. I really like him.
Who does the Bills have?
The Bills are running back?
Yeah, do they have LaShawn still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be in contention.
They could give some help to Josh Allen. I do like let me see. I like David Montgomery from Iowa State, Devin Singletary from I think Florida State, Ronnie Anderson from Oklahoma had a really bad leg injury, but before then he was a stud. I then like Justice Hill from Oklahoma State, really quick.
It's just tough. Like, you don't know when a running back will fall.
No, there's depth at the running back class. Don't get me wrong.
Round.
There's no first round picks, and I'd say maybe 2 second rounders. I guess maybe 3 with Darrell Henderson, Damian Harris, and Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs will be the first taken. For some reason, there's a lot of hype behind him. I'm not really with it. I like him. I don't think that he's a starter in the NFL. Certainly not right off the bat. He'll have to be paired up with somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think running back class is interesting. Who else left the first round? So, let me see. Irv Smith didn't get drafted in the first round. Let me see. Greg Little, the offensive tackle, I think he's going to fall. He doesn't get it in the first round.
He would be a steal, though.
Yeah. Chris Lindstrom, the guard from Boston College, is a stretch, but again, he does leave the first round.
I see the Giants picking one of those guys in the second round.
Yeah.
If he's there.
I could see that.
Once they get there, if they do get a quarterback, like we said.
Right. Jalen Ferguson, he's the guy who led the entire country in sacks. He doesn't get picked in the first round. He didn't get invited to the combine for some fight he was involved in, like when he was like 18.
Oh yeah, I remember that when you were talking about that last time.
But he's really talented, so he's gonna be second round steal wherever he goes. And then yeah, I mean nothing really else. I guess Deontay Thompson, Taylor Rapp, and Jonathan Abram could go first round. I don't have them going first round in the mock draft we just did, but I could see that. But yeah, I mean our mock, whether or not the places and the teams might not be right, I think those 32 players will most likely be picked in the first round. So I think it was good on that account. There'll probably be much more trades than we said. It is hard to kind of think of trades on the spot, though.
We had one trade.
I think we had one we had one trade.
And then the Cardinals.
Oh, right. Yeah, for Rosen. So we had a couple trades, but
the biggest trade was the New York trade, though.
Right, New York to New York, and I think that will happen. I mean, if Quinnen Williams, if we were to fall to 6 to the Jets, I would not be able to get over that. Especially because they might lose Leonard Williams to the free agency soon, or he might not resign with them. So yeah, that's the NFL. I mean, look, it's going to be a really exciting draft. Post combine, very, very, very interesting. What's up?
Want to talk about the losers?
Let's talk about the losers. Oh yeah, we got to talk about the losers of the combine. And I do have Ja'Kai Polite going to the Titans at 19, but there is a chance that he falls out of the first round completely. I think that's stupid. I think he's a very talented player. During his combine interviews, he stated that all the teams bashed me and all this like pity shit, and a lot of scouts and teams didn't like that. So he might fall. So his workouts weren't bad, but they also weren't anything exciting. So he definitely fell in the combine. Let me think who else. Elijah Holyfield from Georgia was really bad.
Did you see him run?
Yeah,
he was like a 4.9.
You can't run that slow. And you know what though? Players that have played against him, defenders that have played against him, are still scared of him. I forget who it was, but somebody in the SEC said, yeah, you don't want to go up against this guy. He is a powerhouse. So his draft stock will definitely fall, for sure. I really was not a fan of him at all.
Greg Little kind of did.
Greg Little, I called that. I don't know if you remember. I think I called that last podcast. Greg Little, I knew was going to fall because he really reminds me of Orlando Brown from last year. I forget what team he played for, but he ended up getting drafted by the Ravens. I think he played for Oklahoma. But yeah, he was a big offensive lineman, but just didn't do well at the combine, and we saw the same thing with Greg Little. Yeah, he didn't do very well. I think he ran a 5.33. Yeah, he ran a 5.33 at the 40. Just very awkward with his workouts. So he definitely fell.
Another guy, linebacker, Mack Wilson. Alabama.
Yep.
Linebacker class is there, but
Mack Wilson's an Alabama guy, but yeah, he's going to be a late second rounder. He didn't do too well. Let me see. Devin Singletary out of Florida Atlantic was one of my favorite running backs coming into the class.
FAU.
Not great. He didn't run the cone drills very well. His agility drills in general just weren't very good. And he's a 5'7", 200-pound running back. He's 5'7". So if anything, you have to excel with the agility drills. I don't think he ran an exceptional 40.
Your guy Anthony Johnson, how did he go?
He didn't perform at the combine, I believe. I believe he didn't run the 40.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I do still. I'm a big believer in Anthony Johnson. I'm still a big believer in him. I really like him. Yeah. That's really. Loser wise, there wasn't a ton.
His running, but that's about it. He was pretty accurate.
No, yeah, he did. I think exactly as he was expected.
People just thought he would run quicker, but he's not a runner, so.
Yeah, right.
You also had another quarterback, Trace McSorley, who wants to run DB drills.
McSorley, yeah, I'm not really a fan of him. I mean, yeah, late round, day 3 pick, sure. Why not take a risk with him in like the 6th round? But I don't see him going very high. Miles Sanders, we gotta talk about him. He had a phenomenal combine.
From Penn State, yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. I was very shocked. I liked him going in, very agile, but he not very good at carrying football.
He's no Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, but dude, he had a really
good season,
standout combine. Yeah, very agile, very elusive. I really like him. His draft stock definitely flew. I mean, he could end up being a top 5 running back out of this draft class.
He could go 3rd round, like we were saying last time. 5th, 6th round.
He could. And so yeah, I'm really interested to see where Miles Sanders goes. Besides that, my only other loser is Draymond Jones from Ohio State, the defensive tackle. He was projected to go like early second, maybe late first. But across the board, he didn't do very well at the combine. Not anything, very poor, but just underwhelming, below average, below his what was expected out of him. I think he weighed in at 6'4", 285. So I don't know. There's a lot of worries with him now. But yeah, that's it for the losers for me.
I mean, yeah, basically summed it up. We'll talk about free agency a little bit.
Free agency,
closer, we're in it a little bit.
Yeah, and our mock, especially with we had the Jags going with Jawan Taylor at offensive tackle.
Nick Foles.
They're gonna get Nick Foles. I'm almost certain about that.
A lot of new safeties out in the market.
Yeah, Landon Collins. I want to talk about
said goodbye.
Top destinations. Landon Collins. I got.
You're not Giants.
I got Packers. I got the Packers, and I got Seattle. I think those are his top 2 destinations. Packers do need help in their secondary. They don't have HaHa.
HaHa was in the Redskins.
I know, but he was before with the Packers, and ever since they haven't had anyone fill in there.
Yeah, the Redskins need one too.
The Redskins need safeties. Oh, right. The Redskins could be destination.
I do see the Giants picking, though, probably HaHa. Makes most sense. Eric Well just became a free agent.
I could see. I like Eric Well to the Giants. I mean, older, but he's still a great leader, still has a lot of talent. I think he'll fill in for the Giants. But now they kind of need 2 safeties, almost. Maybe they'll draft one. They have a lot of draft picks. They have, 10 draft picks? 9, 11, something like that. So, yeah, Giants are in a good position, though, in that regard. And there's so many safeties. Tyrann Mathieu available. Earl Thomas is available. Dallas doesn't want him. He's too expensive, apparently, to them, which is ridiculous in my book. Dallas also won't be pursuing Landon Collins. So Dallas are in a weird position.
What wide receivers are there in the free agency class?
I'm not really sure.
I think Cole Beasley just became a free agent.
Maybe. Receiver class isn't too great within the free agency.
I mean, running back class, you have Le'Veon Bell.
Well, Antonio Brown, but that's for trade.
Yeah.
Which, I guess we could talk about that a little bit. Antonio Brown, I don't know, man. I really don't know of him.
He's a whole bitch.
Yeah, he really is a diva. But again, he is the best receiver in football. So the fact that teams can kind of offer a 3rd round pick for him is bizarre to me. Destinations, like I said before, 49ers, Seahawks, maybe. I mean, I'm only saying Seattle because Pete Carroll and John Schneider love to make those weird trades for players. They've done it before. They will pull the trigger. And if Tony Brown, if they can get him for a 3rd rounder, don't be shocked if he lands in Seattle. Also, 49ers have Garoppolo there. I think they would be wanting to enter the sweepstakes. Or the Raiders. I can see the Raiders going to Tony Brown, maybe offering... I mean, if his value somehow skyrockets, maybe their 27th pick, or even their 2nd rounder. I could see him in Oakland, especially because of how poor they're... I mean, like we said before, they could pick 2 receivers at 12, 24, and 27. But yeah, I think they can go Antonio Brown too. Le'Veon.
I want to say one thing real quick.
Yep.
So you guys are gonna make another mistake that you guys did running the ball at the 2-yard line with Marshawn Lynch.
So Le'Veon Bell. Let's talk about Le'Veon Bell. So Le'Veon Bell. I liked him with the Jets. Apparently, Jets don't want to pursue him. I can see the Raiders pursuing him. They do need running back. So yeah, Le'Veon's a weird open book. Apparently he gained a ton of weight. Like he's pulling an Eddie Lacy right now. So yeah, that could be interesting. But yeah, I don't know. This offseason is going to be really interesting. I'm excited.
Draft's in April. So
yeah, we're definitely going to do a podcast right before the draft. To get our final thoughts. And right after. I think we're going to do probably a week before the draft, maybe like the 2nd or 3rd week in April. We're going to do a podcast. We'll kind of recap our thoughts on every player, where they're going to go. We'll do a full, first round mock draft. We'll do trades, a lot more trades. We'll know which players are available.
Basically knowing who's doing who.
But yeah, no, I'm really excited for it. I'm excited to see what happens. Excited to see what trades before the draft, because there's definitely going to be a decent amount. Excited to see where Rosen goes, if that's the case. Excited to see where Le'Veon and Antonio go. And excited to see where the safety class goes, especially Landon Collins and Earl Thomas. So it was a blast.
Anything else?
I always have fun doing this shit. This is always a pleasure. So yeah, guys, stay tuned.
Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I mean, listen to it.
Look, it's fun. It's comment. Fun. Yeah, it's fun to do this kind of thing.
Give us your opinions. I mean, I don't care.
Write them in the comments, man. Give us your mock drafts. If you haven't written down, write them down in the comment section below. Tell us what you guys think. Maybe we'll reply. Maybe we'll say you're wrong. Your opinion sucks. But no, seriously, yeah. Give us your thoughts down in the comments below. And, yeah, we'll see you next time. We'll see you next month.
Yes, sir. Leave a like and subscribe for more. So peace out, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.